Do you guys want to know why I started making videos? I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I started making videos to show people alternatives to playing Madden. That you don't have to play Madden. You can play Madden 08 PC, Backbreaker, All Pro, all these other games. But I also did it to show how bad Madden has been throughout the years and how it's been lackluster and how we desperately need somebody to come into the market and compete in any way, shape, or form. Just compete. Show something different. Do something ambitious. Do something that we haven't seen before. Let's, just think about why we all started making videos. Why did you start making videos? Did you start making videos to get a better product? Yes, we did. And most of us did. I do not make money on YouTube. I do not do this for a living. I wanted a better product. I want a better product. And if we do not support Joe Montana 16 or 17 or whatever it's going to be called, we're never going to get this chance again. This is it. This is the end. If we do not support this game, this is the point of no return, guys. I have to stress to you guys how important it is to support this game right now. People are angry. They're going through their phases right now. First comes denial. Then it comes anger. It's a phase. You have to understand how important this game is. Let the anger come out. Eventually you'll get to the acceptance part. But you're going to have to go through the other ones. The bargaining, the depression. You have to go through it. But you know what? This is what we wanted. We wanted somebody, anybody. Haven't we said this in the past that we wanted anybody to step up and make a game? We didn't care who it was made from, where it was on. We didn't care if it was on tablets. We didn't care if it was on any console. I've heard virtual footballers say this. I've said it. I don't give a flying fuck what game, console, what PC, anything. I don't care. I just want to see something different. I want to see somebody try something different. And here we go. We're getting a chance, the one chance that we're going to get probably in our lifetime, guys. It sounds stupid, but Madden is what it's going to be. If we don't step up and support this game, what bigger name is there than Joe Montana in football? There's not a bigger name. You have to support this game if you want to see a better product in the future. Damon said if it does well, other platforms will be supported. He didn't specify what platforms, but he had already said PC in his initial phrase there, his initial releases. So he could have been hinting at a console, guys. He needs to make it more, he needs to clarify this. But guys, I'm imploring you right now, let the hate go. Isn't this what you wanted? Somebody to step up and make a game. Now I'm going to show you something that I think is very important, and I've done a video about this before, and I'll have the link in the description. But I want you guys to pay attention to some of this video, and I'm going to explain it later.
In the end, the film would immortalize its stars, its creator, the Martha's Vineyard location, and of course, the shark. But this is one film that came close to not happening at all. And for those who created it, the making of Jaws was as much of an adventure as the movie itself, starting with a 27-year-old director who worried that this would be the movie that sunk his career before it even got started, Steven Spielberg.
It was the hardest production I've ever experienced, and I still have nightmares about it.
They started Jaws, big movie, without a script, without a shark, and without a cast.
The story of Jaws begins with Peter Benchley, a struggling young writer with an idea about a fish.
He was broke and down on his luck, and he was sitting on the beach, looking out to sea.
That led him to think, what would happen if there happened to be a great white shark that came in and harassed a town?
What if? What if?
And I remember him telling it to me, and I said, Peter, that's just the craziest idea I've ever heard. I think of something else, honey.
That idea changed not only his life, changed my life, David Brown's life, Steven Spielberg's life. That idea, it hit a primal chord
Producers Richard Zanuck and David Brown, fresh off a triumph with The Sting, heard about the hot new manuscript through publishing sources, including Brown's wife, Cosmopolitan editor Helen Gurley Brown. Zanuck brought it into their offices, and that's where a young director saw it.
There was a big pile of white pages stacked about, 6 inches thick on his secretary's desk, and the top page said Jaws. And I didn't know what it was about. Jaws, it sounded interesting.
Steven Spielberg was an ambitious young director with a few credits to his name.
He had snuck onto the lot one day and eventually kind of wormed his way into getting a job. He did some TV. He worked on Night Gallery, which was like Rod Serling's show after The Twilight Zone. And that led to his first theatrical movie, which was The Sugarland Express. It's this couple on the run story starring Goldie Hawn, and it kind of tanked.
Spielberg was no superstar at the time, but the producers sensed his potential.
Steven knew more about moving people in the camera and the lenses and how to work out and block out a scene better. I said, we don't want an experienced hand. I don't want to do the same adventure picture. This kid will do something brilliant.
Jaws was really a living nightmare. I dreamt about it at night, woke up with that sick stomach in the pit of my gut. I felt that I was the eye of the hurricane. All this fell on me.
We were doing stuff that no one ever tried before, we were winging it.
Problems with sharks, boats, and the New England weather made the shoot drag on to triple the shooting schedule and more than double the budget, as the crew worried that Jaws might be a disaster film in more ways than one.
It was almost a mission impossible.
The year was 1974, and Jaws was climbing the bestseller lists. But bringing the shark to the screen would prove a major challenge. In the history of movies, there had been films about mummies and monster gorillas, and even invaders from Mars. But no one had ever thought to make a movie about a giant shark, and to do it on the open ocean. That was unprecedented. For young Steven Spielberg, starting his first big Hollywood feature, the key to the movie was how real it felt, how vivid, both the shark and the location.
It was suggested to me that the film be shot in a big tank on the back lot of a studio. Other people thought we should go to a calm lake. I was the only person who basically insisted that we shoot it in the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, it was insane.
No other film company had really done anything like that.
It's crazy that they let him go shoot on the ocean. I don't think it would happen these days. No way.
Lake water, pond water, tank water doesn't have the same texture or even violence that the ocean has. And this needed to be a convincing story about a great white shark, because if it wasn't, nobody would really believe it.
The producers were worried, but Spielberg was adamant. No ocean, no film. One secret to its success, Jaws was released in a brand new way.
Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss. Jaws. See it before you go swimming.
Studio execs Sheinberg and Wasserman decided to open it nationwide on hundreds of screens across the country simultaneously. It had never been done before.
I felt we had not only a hit, but I felt we had a really terrific movie.
Cast and crew, and even the audience, Jaws is the movie that changed their lives.
The success of that film gave me ultimately freedom to make any movie I wanted to make after that.
Okay, so what the hell does Jaws have to do with Damon Groh, Joe Montana 16, the future of football? Well, I'm going to tell you how I look at this. In the beginning, you had this author, Peter Benchley. He came out with a concept, an idea, but he was just looking out into the ocean. And he said, what if, a great white shark came in here and terrorized the town, What if? It started with an idea. But then he started to write it. And he wrote a book. It started with that one idea. But he needed help along the way. Then the movie, would increase the popularity of this. But there was no script, there was no director, and there was no shark. When they started this movie, let me tell you something, guys. When they started the movie Jaws, they started it without a script, without a cast, without a shark. How fucked up is that? You're going to try to start up a blockbuster movie based on a blockbuster best-selling novel, and you don't even have none of that in place. Okay? But you know what? The directors saw a young, ambitious director named Steven Spielberg. They sensed his potential. They said he knew he had something about him. He knew how to move the camera around, and his previous works were very, he had to get on the board somehow. He snuck his way on, doing little things. And they said his first project tanked, but they gave him full power over how to direct this movie. And yes, this was a clusterfuck of a production. This movie went over budget. It went way over budget. In fact, it set us some kind of record, I think. Now, we think about Joe Montana 16 and how it's on mobile and how we're pissed off and everything. But guys, we don't know their budget. We don't know, they're trying to get on here, just like Steven Spielberg had to try to get on somewhere. Steven Spielberg saw the script. He said, it struck a chord with him. He's like, yeah, I really want to do this. Damon Grove, Joe Montana, it struck a chord with him. He said, you know what? I want to do this. Montana said, I want to make my own game again. Damon Grove's like, I have experience in mobile. Maybe we can start out doing mobile, and then, we see if there's a demand for it. Since we have claimed in the past, we have claimed that we want an alternative. And so they're putting us to the test. They're going to say, okay, you want another football game? We're going to put it to the test. We're going to use the newest engine. We're going to use the newest technology we know of. We're going to try to get it out as fast as we can, but we're going to do it for the long haul. We're going to nurture this. We're going to try something different. We're going to see. We're going to test to see if these guys are really, genuine. Do they really want to? Is there a really big demand for another football game? We're going to find out. Right now, you guys are acting a fool. I know you're disappointed, but I cannot stress how important this game is. But let's get back to Jaws again. When Steven Spielberg had his idea for this movie, he proposed to shoot it on the open ocean. Nobody wanted to do that. They said this is absolutely absurd to shoot this on the open ocean. And yes, it would bite him in the ass later, but you look at the end result. What Jaws became. It is literally the movie that put Steven Spielberg on the map and enabled him to do whatever he wanted in the future. And he says that. And I cannot stress it, guys. What we could be doing right now, we could be setting the tone for the future. Here we have a young, ambitious guy like Damon Grove. Not saying he's Steven Spielberg, but we're going to use that analogy. He's got an idea. Joe Montana, legend, got an idea. They get together. Can we make this happen? It's ambitious to go up against a giant like Madden. It's definitely unprecedented what they're doing with the mobile. But it was also unprecedented what Steven Spielberg attempted to do with the open ocean too. But how did that turn out for Steven Spielberg? It turned out pretty damn good. At the time, Jaws was the biggest selling blockbuster of all time at that time. It had so much success, it enabled Steven Spielberg to do whatever he wanted. We are in the process of the future, guys. If we do not support Joe Montana, even though we have said we wanted another football game, if we don't support this game, we could possibly be hindering a possible future blockbuster, just like Jaws. But we won't know unless we support it. Just because it's not what we want, it's not what we vision, it's not what we think should be. We think it should be on consoles right away. Steven Spielberg said, they wanted me to shoot it in a tank. But you know what? Tank water doesn't have the same texture and it doesn't have the same violence that the open ocean has. And this needed to be a convincing story about a great white shark, or nobody would believe it. And during this struggle that Steven Spielberg went through making this movie, he was threatened with firing every day. And he had people tell him that this was the end of his career. That he was so far over budget that nobody was going to hire him after this movie. That he was done. But you know what? He stuck to his guns. He had a vision. And how did that turn out? He is one of the most successful directors of all time. I'm very disappointed with the way the sim community is acting right now. Just because it's not on the platform they want. But the potential is there. The potential is there. But if you claim to be a sim gamer and you want an alternative, you better fucking support this game. That's what I'm going to say. Otherwise, I don't want to ever see another fucking video saying I want to see another football game, because this is your chance right now. This is it. You can forget about 2K ever coming into the picture. This is it. This is your chance. Nobody else is going to make a move. Nobody else is going to make a move. You want to see it get to consoles? Support it now. If it's successful, it'll get there. You know, Killing Floor was originally a mod. A mod from an Unreal tournament. It was a mod. It wasn't even considered a game. But it was so successful. It was made in 2005. Or 2009, my bad. 2009. And now it's got a sequel, and it's coming out on PS4, guys. Yeah, that's right. It started as a mod, and now it's on consoles. Yeah, it took a while. But you know what? They had to start somewhere. They started with a mod. It became a game. It became a cult hit, and now it's on consoles. Some people didn't even know what the hell Killing Floor was before this year. There's been mobile games on Steam before that they're still getting successful now. You got a game called Dead Effect. It's kind of like a shooter in space kind of thing, like a Doom or Quake. You know, it was very, low budget and everything, but you know what? It was successful as a mobile game. It came to Steam. It was successful on Steam. And guess what? It's got a sequel now. Don't be surprised if you see a console in the future. You guys cannot continue to whine about this game and how it's never coming to consoles, because it's not going to come to consoles if you don't support it. That's the bottom line. If you guys want a console game that's not Madden, you got to support this game as best as you can. As best as you can. But the way I'm looking on Twitter and I see all these hate messages and, all this hate. Damon Groh, we don't know what kind of NDA he signed. We don't know. We don't know anything behind the scenes. We're not behind the curtain. We don't know what kind of things that he couldn't say or was allowed to say. We don't know. What if it was you and your job and your position? Would you jeopardize it? Would you leak information just to appease people? Or would you look out for yourself and say, you know what, they'll get the information when it comes? I can't say anything right now. I mean, I'm just so disappointed in everybody right now. I really am. You can hate me all you want. You can send hate messages on this video. You can diss this video. I actually expect this video to get more thumbs down than any video I've ever made. But you know what? This is the truth, guys. And the truth, you have to accept that if you don't support this game, you're not getting another chance. All the videos you made saying you want another game, you want... Big Play Killer said, I don't care who makes a game. Just make a game. Just 2K make a game. Anybody make a game. I don't care. I've made videos. I said, I do not care. Anybody make a game. Microsoft, Sony, I don't care who makes it. Just anybody try something different. Now we're here. We are here. We are here, and now it's up to us. Do you think if this game does not get supported that we're ever going to get another chance? Do you really think another developer is going to take a shot at an unlicensed game? Anywhere, console, PC, anything, of the name as big as Joe Montana? No. This is the end. If this is the last chance. If we really claim to be a sim community and we want sim football and we want something different than Madden, we have to do this. We have to support this game. This is it. This is our chance. This is our golden opportunity, the one we've been wanting for so long. We're not getting another chance. This is it. This is the very, very last chance we're going to get. I just want you to sink that into your all guys' heads right now, because this will be the end of any alternative if we do not support this game. It's unconventional, unprecedented what they're doing, but you know what? Give them a chance. Let's see how good the game is. Let's see how the gameplay is. Let's play the game first. If we play the game and we start making YouTube videos about it and saying, oh man, this game's got a lot on Madden, you know, would your opinion change then? It's okay if you don't want to try it out, but guys, you gotta try to support this game. I mean, you have got to try to support this game. I am gonna just stress how important. This is the best chance we're ever gonna get. I keep saying it. I'm gonna be repetitive in this video. This video is the most important video I have made, or I'm ever gonna make, because the reason I started making videos was to get a better game, better product, and to show people they could play other games while waiting for Madden to get better. And Madden's getting better, it looks like, thank God. But I still want to see more. I want to see more companies get up and make games. And you know what? If Joe Montana does well and gets on PC, then maybe get on consoles, that might prompt other companies to do the same. But you have to do your part. If you don't, Madden for life.